Did you know that human trafficking victims may benefit from exercising victims' rights? Human trafficking is compelled service, and it can take the form of both sex trafficking and labor trafficking. Generally speaking, labor trafficking is when a person is placed in a condition of involuntary servitude or forced labor through force, fraud, or coercion. This coercion might include the threat of physical violence or restraint, the use of manipulative debts that are impossible to pay off, a legal threat, or causing someone to believe that serious harm will result if they don't do something. Sex trafficking of adults occurs when there is force, fraud, or coercion, and engagement in a commercial sex act. Sex trafficking of minors requires only inducement into a commercial sex act. There's no requirement of force, fraud, or coercion. Victims of human trafficking may be polyvictims. Polyvictimization occurs when victims are exposed to multiple types of violence, crime, abuse, or neglect, and research demonstrates that polyvictimization is associated with a higher risk of negative outcomes. Often, individuals who are victims of a crime are vulnerable, and traffickers target them because of this vulnerability. Even if trafficking is a victim's first victimization, once trafficked, these victims can become polyvictims because they may be subject to multiple types of abuse and violence. For example, a trafficking victim may also be a victim of kidnapping, false imprisonment, sex offenses, domestic violence, assault, document fraud, labor violations, and/or extortion. It's important for attorneys to understand the full scope of abuse their clients may have experienced, including those predating any trafficking, so that they can better understand where these clients are coming from, assist them with legal matters and with asserting and enforcing their victims' rights, and help to identify appropriate referrals for a variety of services. To help facilitate a trusting relationship with a trafficking victim, it can be helpful to establish up front that you as the victim's attorney don't have the power to deport the victim, that you won't contact the police without the victim's consent, and that your communications are privileged and confidential. In some instances, victims of trafficking may be charged with prostitution or other crimes, and this can raise unique issues and concerns that will need to be addressed. If a victim has been trafficked, they are guaranteed rights by the Trafficking Victims Protection Act and the Crime Victims' Rights Act, as well as by state statutes and constitutions. The Trafficking Victims Protection Act creates avenues for foreign-born trafficking victims to apply for temporary visas allowing them to stay in the United States, and provides various social service benefits, in addition to providing for civil suits by victims. When it comes to criminal investigations and charges, the Crime Victims' Rights Act guarantees victims a number of specific victims' rights that facilitate victim participation and protection during a federal criminal prosecution. When state criminal charges are filed against a defendant, victims may claim the protection of state constitutional or statutory victims' rights provisions. For many victims, the ability to choose whether or to what extent to assert their rights is empowering, and can help increase their sense of autonomy and choice in connection with criminal proceedings. Trafficking victims' rights in federal or state proceedings commonly include the right to reasonable, accurate, and timely notice of the criminal justice proceedings, the right to be present, and the right to be heard. Victims also have the right to reasonable protection from the defendant, which can assist these victims with safeguarding their physical safety and mental and emotional health. Victims are also guaranteed the right to proceedings free from unreasonable delay, the right to privacy, and the right to restitution. The right to confer with the prosecution is another important right in the trafficking context, and it can be vital for a victim to foster a good relationship with the prosecutor. As always, it is important to be aware of the victim's privacy concerns, including when it comes to providing a prosecutor with information relating to any visa applications submitted by the victim. It's important to keep in mind that even if victims choose to waive some of their rights, that doesn't mean that they waive all of them. For example, a victim may choose not to attend court proceedings or receive notice of the defendant's release from custody while still asserting other rights, including his or her right to confer with the prosecutor and his or her right to restitution. While interacting with victims, it is important for attorneys and victim services providers to ask questions designed to identify victims of human trafficking and polyvictims. Once advocates are able to recognize indicators of trafficking and polyvictimization, they will be better equipped to address the unique issues that are likely to arise throughout the course of representing these victims on their rights. Now you know a little bit more about human trafficking, polyvictimization, and victims' rights. For more information, NCVLI has published a number of in-depth bulletins, including one addressing the use of victims' rights to help avoid secondary victimization of polyvictims in the criminal justice system. These are available for download on our website in the Law Library. NCVLI can also provide more specific information and resources to members of the victims' rights community. To submit a request for assistance, please visit our website and fill out the online request form. Victims deserve to be treated fairly in the criminal justice system. NCVLI is here to help.